In today's Mauna Kea newscast, the public weighed in on U.S. Army plans to upgrade facilities at the Pohakaloa training area on Tuesday night. At this hearing, held at Auntie Sally's Luau Holly in Hilo, residents had plenty to say about the proposed project, which will construct new ranges and soldier support facilities, new roads and utilities at PTA. The document specifically evaluates constructing and operating an infantry platoon battle area that would include a battle course, live fire shoot house, and military operations on urban terrain facility. The Army says there is no proposed expansion or use above historic levels, but it is clear that the public has a different impression.
A map of our island. Now what you're proposing is the size of 4 kaho'olaves. 4 kaho'olaves. That's the space that the Pohakaloa and the improvements and the expansion that you're referring to will do. Now, one thing you're supposed to be doing and that you agreed to is that the cultural monitor reports should go from the cultural monitor, who's there every day, she writes a report, to you and then to the Office of Hawaiian Affairs. To this day, the Office of Hawaiian Affairs has not received one cultural monitor report. You know, you folks take us Hawaiians cheaply. You know, bad enough you're here, you're occupying our islands, you're occupying the middle of this island, Pohakaloa, but the agreements that you have made relating to the cultural monitoring reports, you could give a rip about those getting to the Office of Hawaiian Affairs, where you agreed that they will go to.
Anything that creates dust until there's a complete assessment and cleanup of the depleted uranium present there. This past legislative session, Senate Concurrent Resolution 118 was introduced in the Hawaii State Senate, companion in the House. Malama Solomon, the senator from this island, told me on Friday night that resolution never got even a hearing because of enormous pressure put on the legislature by the military. What is the military doing, pressuring the legislature not to have a hearing on depleted uranium contamination?
Good question.
What we need is this. We need comprehensive, independent testing and monitoring with citizen oversight to determine the full extent of the radiation contamination at Pohakaloa. It should be paid for with federal funds because it's a federal problem, not county, state, or OHA funds. If the military has nothing to hide, they would say, "E komo mai," come. But your stonewalling says a lot. It says that you do have something to hide, and we want that to end.
We commend the Army on several counts. They have at least acknowledged, I think for the first time in a military EIS, the U.S. takeover of the Kingdom of Hawaii. They also did include a thoughtful description of the spiritual and cultural significance of Pohakaloa. They did mention old military sites, and they are holding this open house and public hearing. But we have many concerns about this action. The main one, is this the only place in the world that this training can be done? Why was Pohakaloa the only place considered? We're also told often it's too dangerous to go in the impact area to hunt for DU or to look for cultural sites or something. But this project, they're going to send in D9 bulldozers to crush lava for a 1 by 2 mile battle course in the impact area, and that's no problem. We're worried about chemical weapons, whether the air monitoring will detect them. These were found at Schofield. Another surprise about the time that DU was found there. So you gotta wonder just what hazards are lurking out there. Apparently, nobody knows. Some of the training once done at Makua is coming to Pohakaloa. The training in Makua brought fires there that consumed 800 acres 13 years ago, burning outside firebreak roads, 2,000 acres 8 years ago when a controlled burn went wild, 300 acres 6 years ago, and 100 acres just a month ago during ordnance cleanup. At Pohakaloa, the fire tornado and week-long fire last year was not caused by the military, but it did show what can happen in this tinderbox area with no county water.
And just for the point of consistency, my biggest problem with Pohakaloa is that you're tampering with some of the most sacred spots on earth. I brought this up in the Hammett program, and you know, I don't expect you to necessarily understand, but I expect you to understand that what I'm referring to is First Amendment rights. This is my religious rights. These are my two most sacred mountains in the world. You are in the womb of the world, and you're blowing it up, and I have a problem with that.
So I asked OHA, should we occupy Pohakaloa? What kind of legal assistance can we get? Well, I'm going to ask the same people who organized this forum, what kind of legal assistance can we get if we do occupy Pohakaloa? Will there be a legal defense fund to help us in our legal cases?
Pohakaloa, you like know the results. Kaho'olawe, except Pohakaloa should be a little bit more worse because we live here. Or you people are dumbed down, desensitized by your mainstream media, your radio stations, you indoctrinated into believing the way you live in right now is the way it's supposed to be. I see a bunch of children with no more adult supervision. Calm down, Rob, calm down, calm down. Thank you.
Blow up your mountains. You guys looking, but I don't know what you guys gonna take out of this meeting. Because how many meetings you guys heard? All the negatives. I don't need repeat all the negatives. I don't need repeat the cultural impact. I don't need repeat that because you guys heard it. Maybe in 1 year out the ara, but you guys heard it. Nice glossy pictures telling us how you guys gonna screw us over some more. Beautiful. We're gonna screw you this way, we're gonna screw you that way. Go check it out, we're gonna screw you that way too. Imagine we gonna do that to you guys. Imagine I go blow up your home city, your hometown, your mountain, the place you go worship, the place you go talk sorry with Keakua, with the divine entities.
I've been in the military, man. I know exactly what these gentlemen is all about. Exactly. I put 30 years in the United States Marine Corps. I've been retired for 33.5 years. And this junk is still going on. It's you. It's you, my brothers and sisters of Hawaii. You gotta make the difference. No. Sit down, lady. I know what the hell's going on. No. You gotta say no. No more, otherwise you're gonna have these EAS things. They got the draft. Do first pages, the draft. It says a draft. Third page, final. Hello? I mean, you stupid or what? We are. Are we stupid? Or are we stupid?
Talking to us is one thing. Listening to us is another thing.
My service 48 years ago should allow everyone here tonight to say and speak what they said, because I did this so that you all can be where you're at in this time when America was in its worst war. When I returned, I was spat upon. I was called a baby killer. I've never made this known in 48 years because people just don't believe I served. I don't really care. But tonight I needed to raise that concern to you. So I implore you, the military, if nothing else, at least get it in your books that the record was set, that we came tonight to say, stop what you're doing, or at least involve the people. And I think one speaker spoke tonight, let's find a way to love peace, because that's what Keakua wants us to do. However, failing that, May the great ones bless you for who you are. Thank you.